Hi everyone, and welcome back to the next tutorial on WebDriver. So we already started with the day 26 tutorial, and this is just a continued session on the day 26. So in what we learned so far is we learned how to create a group. All right. So how to create a group and how to execute the test cases from one specific group. Now the question is, why do we need the group? Okay, the answer is, see, let's say we have 400 test cases. I don't want to run all 400 test cases. I wanted to run only 10 test cases which are considered as a smoke test or build verification test. So what you can do is just assign a group to all those 100 test cases as a smoke, and in TestNG.xml specify that you want to run only smoke test cases. So this way we get a freedom, you can actually run the whole regression suite, or you can only run the smoke test cases, or let's say there are some priority 1 test case, P1 test cases are there, those you want to run. So you can just create a group, once and execute it whenever you want. So it becomes very easy to filter out, okay, these are the test cases which I want. So that's the reason we use group. So we learn how to create a group, okay. We also learn how to include a group in test execution, and then we learn how to create a group of group. Let's say I want to create a new group, all, and in combining both the group G1 and G2. So if you say all, run all, it will run all the test cases. So this is what we have covered so far. The remaining topic from the TestNG is first is TestNG annotations. Okay, so let me cover TestNG annotations. There are different TestNG annotations. One annotation we are using very frequently is @test. There are some annotations as before test. Okay, there are actually two types of annotations. First I will tell you, before and after. So when I say two types, the example is, let's say, before method. So similarly we have after method annotation. Okay, before, sorry, there is a before class. Similarly there is after class. So for every before there is after method. Before test, before, sorry, it is after test, and finally before suit, and there is similar after. Similarly there is one more annotation, that is before group, after group. So let's focus on before method, after method first. That will help you to understand the other annotations. All right, so let's add example of before method and after method in our script. I'm going back to the project. We already have some sample scripts automated, so I'm just going here. Now I see there is G1 and G2. There is a test login. There is a test admin login test case. So what I will do is, as you can see, for every test I need to launch the Chrome browser and open the URL. So these are the three common code I see, for every test case. Even opening the login page is also common for this class. All right, so I'm going to take this out, and because this is common, right? This is a common for both the test cases. You can see the same code is there for the another test case. So what I will do is, I will take out the WebDriver outside my class. Okay, so WebDriver driver is equal to new. Sorry, new. You don't say new here. Actually, I will just declare it. Okay, and there I'm writing one annotation. Before method. So I'm saying public void test before method, or you can say just some method name, or initialize browser. Okay, so this is a before method. Don't forget to import the package name for before method. Just say control space at the end, and you can see that line is imported here. So let me show you that. So see, this is the package class imported, interface imported. So before method is something, before executing test method. So I'm just printing a message that before executing a test method, because this method is automatically called before the test method. Okay. Similarly, if you want to execute some piece of a code that is very common and you want to execute for every test case, so I'm saying after method public void after method. Oops, sorry. Public void after method, and there I will print some code, something like after executing the test method. But guys, generally what we do in before method and after method, we don't print these messages. What we do is we put the common code which is going to be there for all the test method in the same class. So I'm just putting every code here, not a local object, because the driver has to be shared among multiple methods. So this is the driver object which I have written. So driver is equal to new Chrome driver and driver.get demo.testfire, opening the URL. Then open the online login page. Now your test case will execute. So test case is having typing username, typing password, clicking on the password PASSW, submit. Okay, submitting the form. Then go to the next page, open, go to the H1 tag, read the text of H1 tag, compare that H1 tag is as per expected, and at the end there is a after, driver.quit. I want the driver.quit to happen after the test method, so I'm just writing the driver.quit here in after method. I hope it is clear. So in my test case, there is only this many lines, like 3, 4, 5. So there are only 5 lines in my test case. Similarly, in this test case also, I don't need this line, because for this method also, before method will get execute. Init browser will automatically get execute. So driver.quit, I will just close it. Fine. Now let's run this class. Right click, run as TestNG test. Let's wait for some time to execute this test. Alright, you can see that, till the login page opens, the code is there in the before method. Then this is test case, and after test case, it will automatically close the driver. Now again, before method will call for the next test case, which will launch the browser, open the URL, and at the second test case also, after second test case also, after method will get called. So if you want to see that, how those test cases are called, I'm going to create a simple class. Let's say example 3. Oh, I'm sorry for, pardon me for this case insensitive. Oops, I will just rename it example 3. Oops. Okay, rename compilation example 3. Alright, so here what I will do is I will write @test, okay, test case 1. Just for sample I'm writing, I don't want to write some real automation code here. I just wanted to write the test cases so that I can explain the before and after annotations in a better way. So public void, this is test case 1. Similarly, I will write 3 test cases, just copy paste it, and I will change the number. So this is test case 2, and this is going to be test case 3. So right now there are 3 test cases, and each test case I will just print one line. Let's say test 1, like that. I will print on in each test case. 2 and 3. Oh, I'm sorry. It has to be 2, and this one is 3. Test case number 3. So if you run it, see the sequence of calling. See. So test 1 will run, test 2, and then test 3. Okay, this is printed. Now what I will do is I will have before method and after method. At the rate before method public void. You can give any method name. I will give method name also before method. There is no compulsion that you should give the same method name. You can give any other name also. There I will write a method. There I will write a code that before method, and similarly do it same for after method. So just copy pasting it, change before to after. Alright, so let me run this part, and you can see that each, this method will be called 3 times for every test method. See the execution sequence. Before method, then test case 1, then after method. So before method, test case 2, then after method. Before method, test case 3, and after method. So let's say you wanted to do some, you wanted to execute some piece of a code which is common for all the test methods. You will write into before method. Okay. Now the example, I already give you the real practical scenario. So in example 1, what we did, we moved that code of launching the browser, opening the URL, clicking on the login page into init browser. That means before method. And after method, I'm just closing the browser. So even though, let's say this assertion is getting failed, still my browser will be closed because closing the browser code is written in after method. Okay. I hope it is clear what is before method and after method. Now coming back to the discussion, if you remember the syntax from the previous session that we learned, the suite in TestNG.xml, first we have suite, then what we have test, then what we have is we have classes, okay, and then we add class, okay, some name is equal to blah blah blah, which I'm not writing right now, and the closing of. Then classes may contain method, right? Remember? Methods, and then tag name is include name is equal to, you can give some name, let's say test login is the method which I want to include, slash closing tag. Then if you want to have another method, you can write that, or let's say all methods are done, you can close methods, close classes, sorry, close class. Let's say there is another class which you want to execute, so I will say another class. Let's say class is equal to some name. Here I will give example 1 as the name. Guys, you should by heart this syntax, syntax in the sense sequence. Example 1, and this is example 2. This is separate class, right? Alright, this class is started. Then again you can say methods. Now you can specify which method you want to execute. Include name is equal to test search is the method name, assume. Okay. Sorry, methods. Okay, closing of methods, then closing of class. Let's say you want to have one more class, you can add that here, but let's say I don't want to add more classes. Okay, so classes is done. Once classes is done, you can close the test. Now let's say you want to have one more test in the same suite. Okay, here also you can specify name. We'll say test 1, and here I'm giving name as test 2. You decide what name you want to give. It depends. Mostly we give feature names, classes, and again it starts, blah 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 blah. I will just say dot 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 and closing of a test, and at the end closing of suit. Okay, so this is the high level structure that suit tags are going to be. Now if you like in like just now we learned that how to create a group. So in suit you can say that I want to run few groups, so just say run. Actually I don't remember exactly. Let me go here and show you. It is after suit basically. You can also have in test also, but yeah, I'm saying groups. So here I want to include some groups in run, so I will say run. And which group you want to include? Include name is equal to you will specify the group name G1. But guys, this is optional. You don't have to specify group every time. Let's say I don't want to create any groups for now, so you can just keep this apart and just continue. So this is the high level structure. Now whenever there is a methods tag, you see that methods, okay, there is an include name. So for this method, a before method and after method will be called. So before method here and after method will go here. So let me take this text. All right. Okay. So you see this high level structure, right? So here, okay. So before this method, it will call. Let me change the font color so that it will be easy to read. So before this method, it will call before method, and as soon as the method is done, it will again call after method. The same is the case. The same is the case for the next method also. So though it doesn't matter. Let's say there are 5 methods. We just wrote class, and there are 5 methods in the class. So for every method, before method, then test case, test method, and then after method will be called. So 5 methods are there. So 5 times before and after will be called for every method. I hope it is clear. Now there is the next annotation, that is before class and after class. So before class and after class will be called here. Before this class and after this class. Okay. So this before class and after class method will be called here. Similarly, there are multiple classes, right? This is example 1. So for example 1 class, before class, after class will be called after all execution, after all test case execution. Actually this after class should be, somewhere here, as soon as there is a class closing, it will call after class. And again before another class, it will call a before class. And after, closing of this class, it will again call after class. So this line is actually incorrect, This is not a correct line. Okay. Let me. This is before class, after class. All right. So this is before class, after class. Similarly, for every test, so here before executing this test tag, there will be a before test. And similarly, as soon as the test tag is closing, so I think I forgot to write that. So there will be a test tag closing. So it will call after test annotation. So excuse me for typo. And finally, the only thing is remaining is before suit. Before suit will be called before this tag, and after suit will be called after the suit tag. So something like that. So you can imagine that how's going to be that execution flow. So yeah, so this is it. This is, you should know that which annotation will be called when. So come back to the question. So in this case, what I will do is I will add before suit. It's an annotation, guys. Don't forget, it's an annotation. Public void before suit. So in before suit, I'm just going to print system.out.println. All right. So here I'm going to print just simple text before suit. Okay. Similarly, I will do it for before suit, before test, just to show that when this method is called, I'm doing this. Okay, this is before suit, before test, then before class. Okay, then before method, after method is written here, but what I will do is after method, okay, that is fine. After method, then I will say after class, okay, method, then class, public void after class, so okay, I was typing after class, yeah. That's after class, after test, and after suit. So let me do corrections. Okay, then after class is, I will make it after suit. Okay, so let's give a run, and there you will see the execution, the order of execution. All right, so see the order of execution: before suit, before class, before test, then method, before method, then actual test method, then after method, then before method, because I'm still executing the methods, right? So this is done, all three methods are executed, and once method is done, after class, after test. I think I forgot to write after suit. Where is after suit? Oh yeah, sorry, after method, after class, okay, after test, then it will print the method result for that one test, and after printing the result for one test, it will print after suit, and at the end you will see aggregated report for the suit. Okay, this is report for that one test. I hope it is at least clear now, when which method is called. So there is a question, what we add in before suit, what we add in before method, what we add in before class, it all depends on you, what you want. Now let's say, for example, go back to the example one, where we wrote before method. So I wanted to launch my browser for each and every test case, before each and every test case, right? So I moved this code into before method. But now let's say I want to launch a browser once, execute all the test cases, and then then do something else. In that case, what I would have done is I will go with before class, because I want to launch that browser once for all the test cases in the same class. Or let's say I want to open that browser only once for all the suits, all the test cases. So I will say before suit, and this code is going to be after, after suit. Close the browser after the suit. Don't worry about the method name. It can be anything. So I'm saying after suit. The only thing I need to take care is every time I'm logging into test case, then you need to log out also, because that test case will be going to log into the web page, so you should take care of logout also. So I'm going to say that by find element, link text, and I want to click on sign off. So let me show you. Once you sign in, so demo.testfire.net is the website. Oops, my bad. Alright, clicking on login, admin. So I'm just saying admin. If you're logged in, then just click on the sign off. So there will be a link, sign off. Make sure you sign off and then log in again, So so I'm saying it's a hyperlink. You see that it's a hyperlink, e tag with the text as sign off. So I'm going to use link text sign off. Okay. And on that I want to perform click. Same goes with this test case also, And guys, see, I'm saying sign off. It will go to the home page, and again I have written code to click on, to type the username. Do you see a username text box here after logout? No, right? So you need to click on the online banking login. So this link, this code has to be there as the first line first for every test method, right? So I will write before method @ before method public void open login page. So I'm saying driver.find element online banking login. So for now you can see that sequence, Let me show you this complete sequence. Oops. So before suit, that means launch browser once, open the URL. Okay. Then is there any after test? No. Is there any after class? No, right? So it will execute. Sorry, my bad. What I was saying, yeah, before suit is there. After before suit, it will call before method. So before method will open that link, and then it will call the actual test case. Then after method, I don't have after method actually. Okay, the test case will be executed. Then it will perform logout. Now let's say I wanted to say that if the login is done, then I want to do logout also. So like before method is opening login page, after method will what it will do, it will log out. Okay. So I'm just going to click on the sign off in after method. But guys, it might be, let's say if one of the test cases get fail, login is not done, and it will try to close that sign off, But I think that should be okay. Or what you can do is you can just check if this element is displayed, then only click on the element. Okay. But for now I will just keep it as it is. Now let me run the test case. Right click, run as TestNG test. So in my example, I used before suit, after suit, before method, after method, and as well as test. Okay. So you can see that opening browser, launch, closing browser. Okay, browser was not closed. There is something wrong. There is something wrong. Let me find out. No such element. No such element. Link text sign off. Okay. Sign off link. No such element. Okay. I think let me add implicit timeout. Driver.manage.timeouts. Implicitly wait. I want to wait 30 seconds. If the element is not found, keep on looking for that element. Maximum timeout is 30 seconds. Alright. So let's say run as TestNG test. I hope this should work. The test case execution is very fast, guys. Okay, the browser actually, it is open in backend. I guess. Oh, not sure what is happening. Okay, looks like I closed the browser. So let me give a fresh run. So before it is launching the browser, it will open the home page, but looks like there is some issue. The browser is not getting launched properly. Okay, the test is running this time. So, but okay, let's come back here and see. Looks like something wrong, let's go here and see. Okay, one test case got executed. That's my fault, I guess. Yeah, see, I should not add this sign off link here because this is automatically taken care by after method. Okay, so let me stop the test again. It was my mistake. I was signing off 2 times, though it is already signed off in the test case. Still, after method was trying to perform logout. Let me run the test. Now it should work. So when to use which method, it depends on you. Let's say you want to launch a browser once, run all the test cases. You can use either test before class, before test, or before suit. It depends on you what you want. Okay, there is something wrong. I don't know why admin and jsmith getting typed here. Let's close it. I will stop. Okay, try to run the test case. Right click, run as TestNG test and see. Okay. So I was saying that which annotation you have to use, it depends on you. And guys, this is not really mandatory that you should be using all the annotations. Okay, it is not mandatory. Okay, what is happening? I don't know. It's typing admin and jsmith together. So that's a little bit awkward. Why this should happen? I don't know. Oops. Okay. Looks like both the test cases are trying to run at the same time. Is it? Let me add a message that are they trying to run in parallel? This could be a reason. Test 1. I'm just going to add test 1 and test 2. Okay, and let's run as TestNG test and see what is printed on the console. Is it trying to run both the test cases at the same time? So this is before. See, test 2 is getting executed first, then test 1 is getting executed. Okay, looks like there is still something wrong. I don't know what it is. Let me debug it and let's fix it. So I'm going to debug the test case. I will add a breakpoint here as well as breakpoint here. Okay, say right click, debug as TestNG test. Okay, so the execution has reached to the breakpoint. I will just keep browser and Eclipse side by side. I'm interested in code. I will say F6. Okay, this line got executed, then password clicked. Alright. Next, F6. I will say F8 this time. F8 so that it will jump to the next breakpoint. So sign out is happened, then sign in, it is on sign in. Oh, okay. The problem is the admin text is still there. Okay, the next test case is running with a jsmith. It types jsmith, but the thing is there is already a text admin. So you need to take care of clearing the text. So I'm going to add one more line, that is Clear. Guys, this is the reason why we have to debug the test cases. And there might be a case, before typing the admin also, I might have to clear the text box. So I'm just, to be on safer side, I'm just adding clear here also. I will say terminate. And if I give run, both the test cases will run in a sequence. Okay. Guys, I'm not doing parallel execution. I'm using one object, one WebDriver object in both the test cases. So at a time, one test case will have its, one browser that way. So only one test case is running at a time. So that is not a really problem. So you can see that both test cases got executed. This is previous window, so closing it. Both test cases got executed and both are passed. So I hope you got the concept. All right. So this is all about how you can add the different annotations. So what we have learned is the different annotations. The annotations which I have not covered is before group. This is specifically with a group. Let's say you have G1 and G2. So before running all the test cases from G1 group, it will run before group. And once all the test cases from G1 group is executed, it will run after group also. But which is very rarely used, guys. So I'm not going to tell you or give you any examples on this. If you want, you can give a try. So that's all for today. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you. Thank you very much for attending the session.